Good morning, traders, friends and family, fans, followers, friends, team, squad, folks. Happy Friday. The weekend is upon us. We got one day left in the markets, for right now at least. And our goal is to enrich some lives. That's the objective. Steven says, good morning to marathon runners and others. Welcome, welcome. Brad Reed says 24 hours to go until the back trading marathon. Exactly 24 hours. Yep. Precisely. It's going to be 6 hours of intenseness nonstop from 8 to 2 my time. And then I'll eat some lunch and then go hit an actual marathon. It's going to be sweet. Pretty fired up about it. Dale Ryan says, good morning. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we got officially 5 days left in April. So today and the next 4 days. Judy says, no sleeping in tomorrow on the West Coast. No, it's brutal. No sleeping in. I'll take it pretty easy though. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a great time. Looking forward to it. So we have a pretty easy day ahead of us because we have 5 stocks that we're going to be looking at. And 5 stocks we're going to review and might put 2 or 3 other things on the list. Let's go ahead and kind of just dive in and talk about what we're going to talk about. And we're going to start with Tesla. So Tesla, I do like the gap up today. It's not gapping above the high, but it is a nice little consolidation pattern. And you might notice that Mr. Squiggles thought, based on the wave count, that this could be a pullback anyway. So you have yourself a pennant pattern on Tesla. And generally that means that today could be relatively bullish, but Tesla does owe me an R. I lost a nice, cute, clean R yesterday on Tesla. And the ironic part is pre-market, it really did retest kind of nicely the area that I wanted to potentially buy some Tesla in, so right around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch Tesla pretty closely to just see how it interacts with this level. I don't necessarily think it's going to have a rip-roaring day, but of course, anything is possible. I'd really kind of expect best case scenario, one of these guys, and that might be it. So I'm going to watch Tesla. I'll keep it on my list, obviously. If I do take a trade on it, I want to make more than an R because that's what I lost yesterday. And I'm actually very happy with the trade that I lost on. All is good. You're going to lose on trades. Here's the 30 minutes. So you got the 105 EMA holding it as a resistance. And then if you turn it on, the extend hours off, we're kind of in the middle of the moving averages. So, we'll see. I'm not going to rush Tesla. I would be bullish on it, but I'm not going to rush it. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time and kind of see what happens. That's pretty much it. Okay, so Roku, we're also gapping up. So you did have a decent bullish candle yesterday. Nice upper shadow for sure. And the trend on all time frames, any time frame that's relevant, is bullish. Therefore, I'm looking at playing Roku. If I'm playing it, bullish would be the direction. Most likely going to have to wait 20 minutes on this one since it's not gapping above the previous high or the low. But the 200 simple on the daily is 124.25. And that's what I'll be keeping an eye on. We're gapping up to 125.50, which is a really good gap. It really is. All of these people are trapped. Tons of shorts yesterday. So this is a pretty solid gap on Roku. Don't get caught sleeping. I like it a lot. As far as aggressively trading it, I don't think I can aggressively trade it per our April plan as far as the rules go, but I can at least watch it and keep a pretty close idea for where I would like to trade it. One thing that would be nice, ironically, is this high wave candle. I'm a fan. Big fan. Get ripped. It's a really, really good spot to buy Roku right around here. Very nice spot. It's the 30 EMA on the 105 minute. It's the 200 on the daily. So we'll see. I can't take it aggressive, AKA in the first 2 minutes or after the first 2 minutes, because it's not gapping above any pivots. So I'll see if we can get something like this. We'll find out what that looks like. We will see. If anything, I would prefer to buy it at about 124 and put a stop at 122. That'd be a little bit of a safer trade for me and anyone else who might want to play Roku. So just going to watch it to see what we can get. For me, I need to make 5 R's between some swing trades and some day trades between now and next Thursday. There's definitely a chance, but that's what I need to do. So it's pretty much what I got on Roku. AMD is not massively different, except it is down, which is interesting. So here's the 30-minute, and you're below the 105. You've actually had a decent little selling, a decent amount of selling on AMD. So the pre-market low is down here. Dave says, hi, all. What's going on, Dave? Hey, bud. So you got a pre-market support, pretty decent pre-market support. If I turn the extended hours off, we're above nicely the trend. So the trend is actually still bullish on AMD, which says to me that we'll see if we get something like that. That would be a pullback, a preferential, like a buying at 54.40 and maybe put the stop down here since that's the pre-market low. We will see. I'm not going to be too stressed about that, but we'll get an idea of what happens. Hoff says, hey, Jeremy, what's going on? Hoff. Michael 212 says, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yep, so AMD, I'd look forward to trade down a little bit lower since it's below the moving averages on the extended chart, not on the non-extended, it's not. And we'll see if we can buy a dip on AMD today. Potentially. You know, the interesting one is BABA. I was really hoping that BABA would be gapping down today because it's actually below the moving averages on both time frames. So both time frames was in a bearish trend, and I was really excited for a gap down. BABA, if we ever do remove any stocks, could be one that it gets removed in May for find a replacement. But BABA, not gapping down. It's gapping up, but it's still kind of below the moving averages. So I don't really have anything right now on BABA. I'm just going to be waiting most of the day. Probably won't trade BABA at all. Michael says, Jeremy, can you explain the gap up on Roku when you get a moment? I don't understand the gap up threshold. When you say gap up threshold, what do you mean, my friend? Explain that for me, and I'll explain whatever your question is. I got you. The broader markets, the Qs, again, we're still in a bullish trend, and we're gapping up a little bit. So it would not surprise me if we continue higher. Pretty interesting little hammer candle of sorts on the SPY pre-market. So if we do something like this, I mean, I still would assume there's going to be a dip buying opportunity. So that's pretty much SPY. Michael said, you said Roku needs to gap up above the previous day's high. That is correct, Michael. Have you gotten a chance to review the April trading plan yet? The rules that we were following in those plans? Very specific strategic blueprint for the month. If a stock is to be played in the first 20 minutes of the day, it needs to gap up above the previous high or gap below the previous low of the day. It's just per one of the rules. kind of gives you some very specific clarity. So if it does not gap above a previous high or below a previous low, I have to wait at least 20 minutes to trade it. And if it doesn't gap at all, I have to wait 30 minutes. Yeah, man. So that's really it. Just a rule-based system that we're trying to follow to get everyone on the same page, which is really nice. Michael said, I'll revisit the plan. Beautiful. I think it's on slide 12, I believe, where I start talking about the rules of the gaps. Yeah, brother. Let's go look at Square. And Square is also gapping up, also not quite above the high of the day. And the 105 EMA was a big resistance yesterday. I'm very interested to see what Square does. Again, I have to wait 20 minutes to trade it. I love the high wave candle pre-market. Big fan. Big fan. Big problem is, though, that this is a target. So we're going to kind of see. And I'm just going to, I mean, I'll wait and find out what Square does, but I'm not going to rush it. And really, that's it. These were just ones that we were watching yesterday. Okay. That's what I got so far. Now, some of you are asking about other stocks, which is totally fine, perfectly reasonable. Just take a deep breath for me. Hold off on the chats for just a moment so I can get caught up. And then we can go back to getting everything. So let me go ahead and answer Lauren's question. He wants to look at ALV. ALV, beautiful gap. Phenomenal. Really, really pretty. Buy the retest. I'll write that down on another list. ALV. Let's see, Friday morning. That's a beautiful gap. I would look to buy the retest on it. It's a good open. Pullback would probably be, Lauren, something like entry here, stop loss down here. And that would need to fill within the first 20 minutes of the day. And if it doesn't, then you can start readjusting it. But that would be a really nice pullback. What I'm thinking, if you're looking at playing ALV, let me put that to everyone. There you go. Okay, that's ALV. Got it. Chris says, what do you think about Uber? So Uber Technologies, I think, is at a very, very good resistance, extremely good resistance. It's working on breaking out, and it's gapping up extremely small today. Really, really tiny. So this resistance is like is a brick wall. I see what everyone else sees, which is really strong higher lows and a nice resistance. I do think that Uber can break out, Chris. As far as a day trade, I'm not blown away by it. But regarding a swing trade, you do have some easy potential to get up into the 32s. It's just going to be really all about how it closes today. So I'll put Uber on the list for the afternoon swing trading room along with Lyft. I know a lot of people are interested in those too. But yeah, Chris, if it can close, so far we haven't had one single day where it's closed above 28.58. That's what you would need to do, is get a close above that level. If you can close above there, I think the bulls are going to be a little bit on the stronger side. Okay, Dave wants to look at SLB, Schlumberger, gapping up. So some of the oil stocks are moving bullishly. This one is gapping above the high of yesterday, which is nice. You also had a double bottom right here. So all of this could be some type of weird retest, because technically you're getting a very small double bottom right there as well. I like the gap a lot on Schlumberger. A lot. So if I were playing this one, Dave, this is where I would buy with a stop down here. I would look to buy a pullback, and if it doesn't pull back into that level, I would try to buy a breakout. So it would be something like that. And again, if it doesn't pull back to that price, I would try to buy it as it goes higher. Okay. Cool. That's Schlumberger. Greg, I think. So should we put in an order for Beyond Meat swing trade or take it off? I already have the limit buy to see if I can get it at 92.16 for an official swing trade. I don't know if it's going to pull down to that price. It probably won't. It's a great gap today. It really is. Beyond Meat could easily continue higher. I'll put it on the list because I know that there are 3 or 4 traders in on this one, and I'm kind of sad specifically that I didn't see that 2 or 3 days ago. We would have actually been in on that trade for sure today, without question. So Beyond Meat, really nice gap, nice consolidation, beautiful 2-day pennant pattern here on Beyond Meat, and just a great breakout yesterday with a double bottom too. But yeah, I'll leave the swing trade open. It could fill today, but if it hits all the way up to 113 G-Dog, then I will cancel that swing trade because that's really where I would have been selling it for a profit. Hoff says, what is a high wave candle? High wave candle. Right here, my friends. I will throw that to you. I also have a few articles and ebooks on high wave candles, but there you go. It's just a really nice indecision candle with a big upper and lower shadow. Reed says, I got Beyond Meat calls yesterday. Good for you, Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed. What movie is that from? Who can tell me? So yeah, man, looks good. Well done. Looks strong. I mean, again, if you are day trading, it's a great gap. It can easily pull back, buy the dip. 113 is the target at some point, either today or later. Ken and Simon are asking, should they go short Intel? I would not go short Intel personally. No. Intel should only be played as a long. Blue chip, dividend paying, strong company, strong fundamentals, strong stock, strong name, strong story. Gapping down, only 4%, 5%. The 200 simple moving average is at 55.23. And that's where you look to play Intel long if it gets down there. But you're not going to look to short Intel unless you want to catch just a really, really, really fast kind of move. But I think the long trade has the best opportunity for good risk reward. So I can put Intel on the list to keep an eye on it. I wouldn't fade it aggressively unless it took out and closed above 56.39. I don't think Intel fills the gap. It's probably going to be like a little ugly, kind of lame candle today, but wouldn't short it. Only look for longs, in my opinion. Maloney says, have we looked at Tesla? Yes, we have. All right. Sylvan says, CZR looks good. Caesars Entertainment looks brilliant in every way possible. Oh, Dale and Brad got the liar reference with Mr. Reed. Nicely done. So Caesar Entertainment, great gap. Definitely one to watch if you're playing other stocks today. Love it. It's very, very, very pretty. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gap on Caesars. My boy Robert Falco, loving him some World Wrestling Entertainment. World Wrestling Entertainment about to take the chair to the Bears. WWE, guys, this is a perfect gap in every. I mean, it's so strong. WWE, I'm gonna put on the list just to practice my perfect gap and goes. What a perfect gap and go on World Wrestling Entertainment. Man, I'm gonna watch that one just to see if I still have the talent to trade gaps that are so beautiful like that. Okay, Zoom. Zoom is zooming. It's doing its thing. There's a lot of bears out there right now on Zoom. There's a lot of negative news, and I don't think it's going to impact it at all, personally. So that gap yesterday was what dreams are made out of. Really good gap on Zoom, perfect open. 3 minutes into the day, it took out all those shorts. Zoom, strong trend, closing above the highs. We're gapping up into an all-time high today. I wouldn't be chasing it, but let's see if Mr. Hoffman nailed the answer. Mr. Hoffman, would you agree that this is a high wave candle on Zoom? Alex, the Zoom got added to the NASDAQ 100 this morning. Wow, that is early for that to happen, but okay. Man. Michael says, why are high waves so good? My friend, I think, in my opinion, they're so good because they represent massive indecision. And what happens when massive indecision becomes decision? You get a decided move. There you go. That's why. Plus, it gives you very clear entry and exit spots too. Zach says, I exited Zoom yesterday. I had gotten stuck in about a month. My mental stop failed me, lesson learned, and I was just happy to get out with an R. Well, at least you won. At least you won. All right, so WWE doing good. Wilkins is Intel looking to buy long myself. Some other stocks that you guys are requesting. Alcoa is absolute garbage. You probably don't have to do anything with that one today. It is gapping up extremely small, but I wouldn't do anything with Alcoa. Doesn't look great for a day trade. Lows perfectly flat. If you're looking at trading lows, reach out to Alex in Slack. This guy only trades lows and Home Depot. This guy's a machine. Let's see, I'm typing in Alex wrong. A-L-E-K. Yeah. Alex, he loves trading lows and Home Depot. A lot of people staying at home and doing DIY projects, going to Lowe's, getting some shopping in. That's just my guess. No real gap today, at least right now. But if at some point it starts breaking out, this is a nice pennant pattern on Lowe's, and it certainly could break out. So feel free to keep an eye on that one. Okay. Ella wants to look at Boeing. Boeing, perfectly flat today. Extremely, extremely flat. So not much happening on Boeing. Just kind of resting. Dave says, so white high wave candles, you go long. Not necessarily, just all depends on the trend, Dave. All depends on the trend. Work, we are already in bullish on a swing trade. And it's gapping up a little bit. So that's kind of cool. But I would like it to gap up more. Here's the weekly chart, and the weekly chart's just kind of hanging out, and the daily chart's just also hanging out. So my thought on Slack Technologies, realistically, if we can take out the high of yesterday, you can easily be more bullish on Slack Technologies. But for this gap, I wouldn't see it as anything special. Square is on our list every single day, and it's gapping up extremely small. Has a beautiful high wave candle, which is a black high wave candle, Dave. Since the trend is bullish, I could still easily be bullish above that candle. It's just a nice indecision candle. Hoff says, did you put out any official day trades today yet? No, sir. The market is still closed, at least in the States. So when it opens in 6 minutes, I know I'm equally excited. I am equally excited about taking a trade, but nothing official yet. Market is still closed. So take a deep breath. Market opens in 5 minutes. And then we'll look for some trades. All right. So Square, we're going to be leaving that one on the list all day since it's one of our 5. Google shorts. Have a trader asking, should we short Google? Google is gapping down a little bit right now. But to me, it kind of looks like it's retesting this retest gap right here. White candle gapping up. It looks like we're kind of trying to pull back into that price. Let's go look at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. No, I wouldn't short Google. Not today. Trend right now is bullish on the non-extended hours chart. You got a nice little gap and go over here. I'd look to play Google bullish or not at all. Robert Falcone is excited about Amazon. Amazon, cute little gap on Amazon. This one's strong, strong, strong. Perfect doji yesterday, and we're gapping up almost into that doji. So you could consider Amazon to be bullish for anyone who's day trading Amazon. I do like trading Amazon on Fridays, and it is clearing some definite resistance for sure. Amazon trend still looks strong. Okay. DraftKings is going to be IPOing today. Yep, that should be pretty fun. And cool. John Alonzo wants to play Target, and then Diana's asking about Las Vegas Sands. So Target from a continuation from the gap down yesterday, John, looks brilliant. That was a very, very nice fade yesterday. I know you tried. I know you tried. So yeah, continuation could be nice on that one. Las Vegas Sands, it had a gap and go yesterday. So today's gap up would be a retest gap. It is gapping above the high of yesterday, which is nice, but it's not a gap and go since yesterday's candle is white. So for me on Las Vegas Sands, if I were trading it, I would do one of two things. Most likely I would let it trade up, make a new high, and then I would buy the pullback if I was playing Las Vegas Sands. The reason I'll play the pullback is because it is a retest gap. So I'll put that in the chat pane. That's my thoughts on Las Vegas Sands. Matthew says, most of the pre-market activity is within the previous day's movement. Do you think this is indecision? That is correct. Yep, it is an indecisive move. So that's why you're going to wait, or I'm going to wait a little longer before I do anything today. On our 5 stocks that we follow every day, nothing is gapping above or below the previous highs or lows. So I'm not taking anything aggressive this morning. Of that, you can be assured. Taking it slow, per the rules and the plan. Wayfair, beautiful gap on Wayfair. Wayfair is so incredibly strong right now. It is a retest gap, so let it retest, but we'll see what we get. Joel says AMD is below the low today. That is correct. You're right, Joel. I apologize. I was wrong. AMD is indeed below the low of yesterday. So if we do end up trading something aggressive, it technically could be AMD. Let me just check the daily charts again to make sure. Tesla not gapping above the high. Roku's a nice gap. It really is, but it's not gapping above the high. I do like Roku a lot. It's probably my second favorite gap. Square, hanging out. Baba's probably my least favorite. Okay, so AMD, again, one of the strongest stocks out there. It is gapping below the low. And as I mentioned before market open, I'm looking for some type of pullback, looking for some type of dip buying opportunity because the 30 EMA, this is the 30-minute EMA. Looking to see if we can go long around there, maybe, with a stop down here, maybe. It's just a possibility, but it is something we can play a little bit on the aggressive side because it is gapping below a low and it's gapping into some support. Not quite into the support. It's just, it's going to get pretty close pretty quickly. So I'm going to watch that one. All right, team, market opens in 6 seconds. Here we go. Let's find out what we get. Okay. So AMD is a nice open. Roku's is still a pretty good gap. I do like the location. Again, I know what we're going to do on Tesla. I know what we're going to do on Square. Baba's going to be okay. So SPY's a good gap. And just the rest down here again, it's going to be interesting. WWE, I'm just going to watch as just like a, I mean, you would trade it like that. Bullish above there, stop below there. That's really it. That would be WWE. It's already got some immediate selling. So if it breaks that high, that would be me getting in bullish. Real simple. Not that Thinkorswim's going to fill you on that or anything, Falco. So don't worry about that. I mean, we know that that's not going to happen, but okay. AMD. So again, I do like AMD bullish, depending on how it plays out. This purple line you see in front of you is a 30-minute 105. So if we can break above there and retest, maybe. A lot of these stocks that I'm looking at today, we're doing this kind of retest look. Now, again, we can play AMD a little bit more aggressively because it did gap down below the previous low of the day, as Joel so adequately spotted for us. So if I'm looking at this one, I'm allowed to play it aggressive, but I'd kind of prefer a pullback. So we're just going to generally get an idea to see what it does. Joel says, adequate's my middle name. Oh, man, that's funny. So Roku is building a high wave candle on a 3-minute chart for now. Tesla, yeah, so all things look pretty okay. They don't look bad. They're giving us an all right range if we take any breakouts. So again, SPY's just hanging out. Matthew says, AMD the past 2 days faked us out. I wouldn't specifically say that. I think you guys won very nicely on Wednesday. Just took a long time. Someone once told me sometimes it takes time to make money. Sometimes. All right. So it doesn't look like it's going to break through. Again, this purple line's a 30-minute 105. So if I turn the moving averages off, again, we're very close to the 30 EMA 105 right here. Extremely, extremely close to that level. So I am going to be watching it down here just to see what kind of play we can get, if anything at all. Roku looks very strong. I can't play Roku in the first 20 minutes because it didn't gap above the previous high of the day. But it looks phenomenal. If it does break out, I will set up a limit buy to buy a pullback. So that's okay. So Roku, we will see. Again, Tesla is just kind of hanging out. WWE. Hello, brother. That's my Hulk Hogan impression. World Wrestling Entertainment. It's a great gap. And again, Beyond Meat, it's a very nice retest gap. We are gapping up. Again, it is a retest gap, and we do have a swing trade on it, so we'll see if it pulls back. We also got a swing trade on BE, Bloom Energy Corporation, which may or may not trigger. I don't know. We'll see. We got a few swing trades out there. Shake Shack, right, doing its thing. We'll find out. We'll be canceling it relatively soon, I think. Robert says that's a pretty good impression. Thanks, man. CrowdStrike, CRWD. Oh, CrowdStrike looking strong. Just what a powerhouse trend that one's been in. Robert's in at least 100 shares because he has an $85 covered call for May. CrowdStrike, one of the few stocks, if you're looking at swings, it's one of the few stocks that's just absolutely murdering those COVID highs. It's already taken out February's highs. CrowdStrike, powerhouse city. Oh, man. AMD's down 2.1. That's going to rally out of here at some point. Just looking for where Where will she rally out? All right, 30-minute. So it's coming right into it. I thought about maybe doing like half an hour here and half an hour right at that average. Because a $1 stop is actually pretty adequate, pretty normal on AMD. Because the whole market it's technically up. AMD is down 2.1. That seems aggressive. All right, I'm just gonna sit here and watch AMD for a moment. Oh, that's a good point. Robert says Intel's dragging down chips. Good point. So Intel, I do think will fade. So again, I would not play Intel bearish, but that makes a valid point. I didn't think about that. Okay. So let me just see what type of candle we get here. 3-minute, 5-minute on Intel. Sorry, AMD, not Intel. I'm just trying to look at it. I'm trying to buy as low as possible. And I don't have to, by the way. We don't have to play long, but I'm just going to try to generally see what happens down here. So far, we're doing a pretty good job of being patient, if I do say so myself, and I do because I just did. So we're waiting for some rotations. We're giving it some time. Alibaba. I just don't know what to do on this one. I don't know what to do. Not really sure. SPY, decent gap on the SPY. Again, great gap on Beyond Meat. It's a great gap on Beyond Meat. That's one I would be in bullish right there. So I kind of get to watch. I'm not in on a day trade or a swing trade. I have no position on Beyond Meat, but I get to watch and see how this would have played out. Because with a gap like this, there's your 3-minute high wave candles. Boom. I'm in. I would be in. I would be in. Yeah. So if Intel starts bouncing, AMD will. And hello, brother. WWE. So now if you're going to go bullish, you go bullish above that candle with a stop down there. All right. 5-minute, 2-minute. I mean, it looks like it's just going to keep dropping it right now, which is fine, but I think this is how I want to play AMD. I do think so. We're pretty much more or less buying it off the 30-105 EMA, and it would work if the market tries to rally out of it, out of this like little weird drop. What I'm also trying to figure out is, can I buy it off of the 105? Joel, you know, I have a pretty good Macho Man impression too. It's been a while since I've done it. Maybe later. If I win on AMD, maybe I'll do my Macho Man impression. I used to watch wrestling as a kid, full disclosure. If you couldn't tell. I may have been a fan of Stone Cold. All right. Bob. Yeah, AMD, I do like this level. It's a nice level. What's this, a 1-minute chart? 54.76. So I'll do 77 by 18. I don't think that's going to trigger falsely. Maloney says, hey, Jeremy, I have a swing on Tesla at 695. Will you take a look at it? I will. Give me about 149 seconds, and I got you. Okay, so there's the bounce. So that means I'm going to do this 54.73 by 54.18 on AMD. New official day trade on AMD. Okay. I'll put in the chat pane 5473 limit buy with a stop loss at 5418. And my goal on this one realistically is to make more than an R that I lost yesterday. And if that happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, that's equally cool, but that's my goal. This is a fade, is the attempted trade on this one. And the interesting thing is, it really is pretty much buying right on the 30. Same kind of thing I did on Tesla yesterday, which definitely did not work. Okay. So, filled. And again, I am 100% sure this trade will either work or not. It sounds dumb, but you got to reassure your brain sometimes, folks, about what it is that you're planning on doing and why you're doing it. You know? You got to tell your brain that you're okay with whatever outcome happens. If it wins, cool. If we lose, cool. I can lose on trades. My maximum is 3 Rs that I'm going to lose today. That is a guarantee. I will not lose more than that. You can rest assured. And if we get up to there, that's pretty okay. I do like the candle. I do like the volume. And again, we are buying it off of the 105. And I'm going to go look at Tesla's, Tesla from Maloney. Let me just put this 30-minute chart in here on for my screen so I know why I'm buying it. And that is a pretty nice hammer. It is a shave top hammer, which are not my favorite hammers. Not my favorite hammer. Okay, 5473. And again, just as a reminder, if I do lose on this trade, which is very possible, if I do lose on this trade, or if we lose on this trade as a team, then I will still be able to take another one, and I'll do my absolute best to try to make 2 Rs on that trade. If I can make 2 Rs on that trade, that'd be wonderful. And if not, then I'll just try to make more than whatever I lose on AMD. Okay, so now let me answer a question for Tesla, and then I'll answer Chris's question on GILD. So Tesla, Maloney wants to get in at 695. Bullish. That does seem reasonable. I think you could do 688 though. If you're looking at buying a dip, because really if you're playing 695, you're more or less just kind of buying at a blind support, which is not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that. But 700 is the 30 EMA on the 105, or whatever I'm trying to say, 105 and 30. So if it breaks that support, which it really didn't hold massively great yesterday, then it's probably going to pull back just to this general area of support. So I kind of like 688 just a little bit better if I'm taking Tesla bullish on a pullback. That's just my thoughts though. So right now I'm going to keep an eye on Tesla for the day. Nothing too crazy cool happening on Tesla right now. Why can't I take off this line, I wonder? Is that, oh, that's that line. Okay. Beautiful. All right, here's Gilead, GILD. And Gilead, Chris wants to know where he should buy it long. 72.04. If you can get it at 72.04, that would be the spot to snag a potential long trade on GILD, Chris. So where's Chris? 72.04. That's it. Now, if you want to take a small position here, just in case, so that you have something, you could buy, like, I mean, I would say a really small size, legitimately just a few shares. And then let's see what happens over earnings. Let's see what happens with all the news, with all the vaccine, so on and so forth. We'll kind of find that all out. But take a small position and then add a lot more down in the low 70s, high 69s. Maloney says, I'm already in on Tesla from a few days ago. Okay. I'm looking to exit today. I'm just not sure where. For a profit or a stop loss, I guess is the question. And why are you looking to exit today specifically? Do you have a put sale, credit spread? Give me a little bit more information. Why is it today that you're going to exit on Tesla? Pierre says, what do you think about Uber? I like Uber for a swing trade if it can close above 28.58. For a day trade, I don't see anything special on it right now. So I agree. Everyone in the world sees this consolidation, higher lows and relative highs. So you need to close above this resistance. If we get it, cool. If we don't get it, I understand. But the 15-minute candle, again, since it's going so sideways, you might be able to win on a breakout like that, Pierre, if you really want to play it. But you're playing it early because there's no real signs of it going to break out yet. But if you want, I mean, the risk reward's good if it does break out. And it is a beautiful high wave bearish candle. So if it breaks higher, some shorts will be squeezed. And I think it could continue a little bit higher. So we'll kind of see. Roku. So Roku's breaking down. AMD is trying to bounce. Tesla is doing its thing. Maloney says, I have a stop loss on Tesla. Got it. Stop loss. Stop loss, stop loss. Stop loss, that'll be tough. Because it's gonna hit stops right here for sure. I really don't know. That's a tough one. That's a really, really hard decision because there's just so much support. I'd hate to get out right at that support, like right down here. So if you can do your best to hold for, I don't know, another hour or so and just kind of see what pivots come in around this area, then we can increase the stop loss a little bit. I'll be looking at Tesla all day. I would say don't panic sell, but I guess it depends on your position size and all that kind of good stuff. I wouldn't panic sell Tesla because, again, you got the 105 EMA on the 30-minute chart right here as a support. My boy Eric Hensley wants to see if he can short Amazon. So I do like the gap up on Amazon. It is extremely extended. And this is going to follow the broader market a little bit. So if you do short Amazon, do so on a pullback. Because right now you got a bunch of bearish candles in a row. So I'm with you, Eric. I actually do think that Amazon could be an okay short. You're going against the trend a little bit, right? You're going against the trend just a smidge, but it's so extended on the daily chart. I mean, it's really, really up there that it does deserve or need or would like some kind of pullback, I think. Pullback as is a pullback into the actual trend itself. So we'll kind of see. But right now we're getting a little bit of drop out there on the markets. We gapped up and we are fading. So we'll just kind of see if it plays out. Matthew says, is AMD breaking down? It looks like it is. That is correct. Our stop loss on AMD is 54.18. Matthew John says, can you look at Roku? So Roku is not going bullish right now. I was looking at maybe taking a breakout bullish. It looks like it's just following the rest of the market at the present moment in time. So it looks like it's just following El Marco. So this is Roku on the 30-minute chart, non-extended hours. Again, if we pull down into the 105, we might be able to go long. We will see. We will find out, but nothing right now that I really am super excited about playing on Roku. The 5-minute chart does look a little bit bearish. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. 5-minute chart does not look bullish, but that's a really quick, aggressive selling out there in the market. What I can say is if I'm looking at the SPY, there's a lot of support right here. If we take out that support, I don't think our AMD trade is going to work, and I don't think the market will be super bullish for that time period. Again, just from a day trade perspective. Lauren wants to look at CAR, K-A-R. CAR auction services, looks like it's in an okay trend. 38. I would wait only because there was a gap down right there, Lauren. So that actually could retest with a wick. So rather than getting it 38, I agree with you. I think it does look relatively bullish. Let that wick come in. Let it kind of chop around sideways. I don't think the stop needs to be all the way at 24.47 at all, though. So if I were playing this particular trade right now, it'd be 56 by 98. And then I would kind of more or less like to see if some type of retest can come in and then go from there. So I can come back to car services later if you want, but that's what I think on it right now. Robert says, look at Pinterest. So Pinterest is trying to go higher. A lot of people, again, staying at home, DIY projects, pulling up Pinterest, finding out if they need to go to Lowe's, doing some stuff. No way. Oh, man, I love it. So, yeah, Pinterest looks good. It does. I like it. We have an official swing trade on Snapchat. See if we can buy this pullback. Woo! RK's in the building. What's up, RK? How's it going, you sexy animal? GDXJ. So RK says, Jen, I sold a covered call on it yesterday when it was up high, May 47 for $1.61. Would you hang on to that expiration as a target or recapture if it pulls back a bit on the week? I don't mind getting called away, but I actually want more position in GDX. That's a great question, man. I actually really like and don't mind at all buying back my covered calls for a profit. So the answer to your question is yes. If you sold it at 47 for $1.61, here's my rule, 50%. If I can capture 50% in a week, in less than 1 week from the sale, I will buy to close. If I can capture 75% with more than 2 weeks remaining on the sale, I'll buy to close as well. So whichever one of those happens first is generally what I do. So yeah, man, I'll be happy to buy that back. If again, since you said you wanted more position, you do have a retest gap here. You do have some retest gaps here. You have a nice little neckline. Aaron's the same rule on put sales. Yeah, man, this is just option sales specifically. Covered calls and put sales. This is that rule. So yeah, if this pulls back, absolutely. I don't have this rule for credit spreads because credit spreads are a little bit more commission heavy and you want to capture a little bit more, but I do have this rule with credit spreads. Does that help, RK? Yeah, man. Awesome. I love it. Beautimus Danny says, what's the first target on AMD? First target is going to be, hopefully, if we get there, which we probably won't, but 55.48 is the current target that I have right now. I do like that close. I do like that volume. Let me go look at this. This will be a quarter for right now. If we get there, how cool would it be if we actually hit? And we probably won't, but sometimes you never know. Sometimes the market can reward you for being patient. Target on AMD day trade. Maloney says, BYND hit my target out for 12 hours. What? Nicely done, Malone. The Malonesters. Good grief. And again, I know for sure if I was day trading gaps, I would be in. All right, I would like to think if I was day trading gaps, I would be in on AMD bullish. I would absolutely like to think that. Stephen King, aka the king of the stock market, says, I sold some HTZ June $2 puts for 35 cents. Couldn't resist the temptation at owning Hertz at $2. All right. Got it. Appreciate letting me know that, my friend. I will throw that on the list or on my charts. Put sell, Stephen King. June, 35 cents. Gotcha. Man, AMD coming all the way back after a candle like that. That's crazy. I mean, if we were in bearish, that wouldn't happen, you know? I love that volume, though. Like the bullish volume. I really, really do. Is that a tweezer top? Sure is. Tweezer top on the 3 minute. So if we break that, that should be an okay trade. But we got tweezer top on the 2 minute, 1 minute, 3 minute. So if we break that high, we should be okay on this trade. It's going to be obviously relative on what SPY does. If SPY takes out that support right here with a good close, I might bail early on AMD. Tesla still just kind of hanging out. Square for the most part kind of hanging out, but I do like these candles that are coming in. BABA, who the heck knows? Q's, no idea. SPY, Beyond Meat, Intel. So AMD and Intel are going to kind of follow each other, I guess it looks like today. Okay. But again, at least we're not going short Intel. And then the World Wrestling Entertainment. The entertainment of men's wrestling. I would probably throw in a limit buy here at that point. Again, I'm just kind of watching this. I'm not in this trade. I'm not going to do this trade officially. But that's how I would if I was going to play it. So I'll be working on trying to get filled on this little candle right here. So I'm just going to watch it and see if it would work or whatever would happen would happen. Yes. I haven't been sent. Okay. Cool deal. So Lauren and Julian are in WWE. Michael says, what does a quarter mean? A quarter is generally 25% of one's position, Mr. Michael. So on AMD, a quarter is, let's say you have 1,000 shares. You divide 1,000 by 4, and that will give you the number of a quarter, aka 25%. So that means I'm looking to exit a partial position at that level. Does that make sense, Michael? All right, Merrick says, Jeremy, I'm looking to take a trade on Boeing on 15 minutes as it's bouncing. I'm looking to trade to take as it's bouncing off the pending trend starting on high. Thoughts? My thoughts are simple. I would not take Boeing bullish. That's my thoughts. If you're shorting it, makes sense. 134. I would short exactly where your bullish entry is if I was playing Boeing personally. I just don't see a bullish edge that's screaming at me right now on Boeing. So I would wait to play that one bullish, my friend, personally. It doesn't mean that it can't work bullish. It just means that I won't be participating. Aaron has a put sale at 130. And Jesse, I know you're happy to be out of that bull put spread because you'd be sweating all day on that one. So good job locking your profit. And for those of us who have put sales on Boeing down here, I really generally don't mind owning shares of Boeing down there at all. All right, so Maloney, so now I think you can have a spot where you can put your stop loss on Tesla. Again, I'm not in that particular trade with you. I don't have any position on Tesla right now. But if you're looking at placing a stop, here's where I would. And Maloney. I don't know if I spelled that correctly, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best. That's just where I would have it right now, if you're going to have a stop loss or if you want one. Okay. Matthew says, Apple, Morningstar on the 3-minute. Yep, absolutely. Morningstar on the 3-minute. Apple's not one of my 5 this particular month. I do love Apple, as you know. And if you're trading Apple, based on that particular candle pattern, it's a really strong candle pattern. At least it looks like that way to me. Matthew, that's how I would trade it right here. Again, just my opinion. Man, AMD just cannot bounce off of that 105. Jeez, it's taking forever. Okay. Michael says, are the white candles at the bottom on Roku on a 5-minute chart bearish? Well, the white candles themselves aren't bearish. This candle is bearish. And these are continuation patterns. So if you're looking at playing Roku bearish and you want to play the continuation of the trend, this is how you would. So no, it's not a reversal pattern. Let me rephrase. It's not a strong reversal pattern. Technically, any candles ever can be reversal patterns if it reverses. But they're not strong reversal candles, and they're not good reversal candles at great prices or great locations. So if you're looking at playing Roku bearish, that's how you would. Michael says there is selling pressure because of the top wicks. That is correct. Yes, sir. So I'm trying to figure out what the heck AMD is doing. Because Intel's going higher and the SPY is bouncing. So I'm trying to be as patient as I can on AMD. And that's okay if I lose. I don't mind losing on a trade. I'm going to lose on a trade at some point. Joel says, but Beyond Meat was such an easy play. It was, man. Absolutely. Classic. Absolutely would have been on that trade, in and out. Would have hit my target, which is the 200 simple. Yep. 113.30 would have been out. That would have been a great trade. Very pretty. So I will cancel that swing trade now. For those in the BYND swing trade setup that I placed yesterday, obviously we missed it. I will be canceling that one now. Ryan says, Jeremy, how do you feel about a Square short? I will go look at Square in 47 seconds. Beyond Meat. Okay. Got it. Snapchat. So SNAP. We were looking at playing this one with call options on the snap. So Snapchat, that was a options play for June. The June 16 calls. So June gives us a lot of time to either be right or be wrong on that trade, but I do like the limit buy at 130, which did fill. Okay, so now let's go look at Square for my boy Ryan C. Says, do I like it bearish? Let's go look at the 30-minute 105 EMA. And the answer is no, I do not like it bearish. Trend is bullish, so I would only play Square bullish. If it broke below support right here, I would just wait, honestly. So Pablo says, I bought to close Workday and Visa put sales for 1.5 hours. I'm done for the day. All right, so Pablo buying to close Workday, nicely done. Buying to close Visa, nicely done. And buying to close Apple, nicely done. 1.5 hours. Pablo's grinding back. All right, man, I like it. Let the grind back begin. And during the process, man, take some profits along the way. Okay. AMD is actually is trying to reverse here. It really is trying hard. We're going to end up winning small on AMD or losing on AMD. Most likely. Tesla. So again, you do have Tesla at the 105 EMA on the 30-minute chart. Square. Again, I see exactly why you could play it bearish, Ryan. I do understand the bear play. I'm just personally not going to. Or at least not yet. Bob, I have no idea what it's doing. Q's is actually trying to bounce. SPY is actually trying to bounce. I'm trying to actually wait and see what happened or what will happen. We'll find out. Netflix, NFLX. Joel says, what are your thoughts? Just hanging out. That's pretty much it. Trade down to a good support level. Trying to bounce. We will see. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But I know some of you guys are in shares. This is good, just a good pullback. I would not short the breakdown. No. Nope. Amazon. So again, Amazon, this is the retracement I was mentioning. So again, if you're going to short Amazon, it is counter trend. You must know that. But definitely want to short on a pullback. Thomas Wong says AMD just broke a lot on the ask. Yeah, man, it's trying to pop. This is going to be the really, really, really key level right here. If it breaks above there, we should be okay. I'm trying to be patient on it. I like the buy spot. You know, the market's not specific. Well, I don't like SPY taking out that candle. I really don't. I do know that SPY is also coming into its 105 EMA on the 30-minute chart, which is 278. I just don't think I really want to hold through a break on that because AMD is trying to hold up. It's trying. AMD, one of the strongest stocks out there. Let's go look at Intel. Intel, WWE. Oh, would I have not gotten filled on WWE by a penny? Whoo, I would have missed that by 3 cents. Man, that's nice. That's awesome. I would have missed that by 3 pennies. Beyond Meat would have been great. SPY and just kind of waiting on. Again, I could see why someone would take Square bearish. I get it. I'm just going to wait that one out. I'll just wait. I'll just pat because it's bullish on both time frames. So I'm going to have to wait. Julian says, Jan, I was watching Beyond on the first 5 at open, but I didn't take it because of the pre-market I saw on lower highs. Was I being a chicken? Yes, you were. I still love you. Yeah. Look at that gap, man. Look at the upper shadow. You have to ask yourself, what's stopping it? Is there any moving average? Is there anything? I mean, it's gapping above this pivot, which was a gap over here. So it's gapping above that. It's gapping above that. There's literally nothing at all stopping until the 200. Yeah, man. Alan says, would you go in on the retest? I would not right now. It's already hit the target. I would wait, Alan, on Beyond Meat. It's already hit a target. So I would, it might be done for the day. That might be all Beyond Meat gets. Matthew is looking at Roku. So again, if you're looking at shorting Roku, this would be the setup. Let me go look at the 30-minute to see if I can play that. I don't think I can. It is between the moving averages on that time frame, so I'm allowed to. And it is below the moving averages on that time frame I'm allowed to. So I would have a short trade on Roku and a long on AMD. Interesting. It doesn't look like it's breaking down right now, but if it keeps trading sideways, I might. Julian says, how about a protective put on Beyond Meat? I have some shares. Yeah, this looks like a good spot to do it. I would agree. Totally would agree on that. John Alonzo, man, you're the king of missing stocks by a penny or more, a penny or less. Dang, dude, 104.92. Oh, that's tough. Sorry, bro, Seppi. That is brute magoot. Man, just go stick your head in an ice chest. I don't know. That's tough, man. That is mean. Great continuation, though. Again, I didn't play it, so all this is hindsight. I'm not necessarily saying I would, but a break above there, that's pretty clean, right? First candle was bearish. This technically is a Morningstar reversal pattern. So good try, though, man. AMD, what are you doing? Is this one I should just walk away on for like 2 hours? Probably. It's probably what I should do. It's not like it's not trying. Okay, Roku, Tesla, Square, Baba, Qs. I like the bounce on the Qs. No, I'm gonna keep holding it. Yep, I'm just gonna do this. You know what swing trade I'm really mad at? It's Progeny. It's like, what are you doing, Progeny? How can you go lower after a candle like that? You're ruining all of my textbook examples. Stop ruining everything. PVAC, Penn, Virginia. We're trying to get on a pullback. Hasn't filled yet. Zillow, ticker symbol Z. So Zillow for the weekly option, going to end up canceling that one, most likely. Here's Net, N-E-T, and Net just bought way too high on that one. You ever bought on a trade way too high and just knew it? That's one of those. And that's one of those situations. Shake Shack. So SHAK 4472, trying to see if we can get a pullback on that one. I do like that pullback. So we'll see what happens. Work, I don't feel like I'm buying too high at all. I feel like I'm buying at the exact right spot, and it's either going to work or it won't. I do like the long-term moving averages there. I mean, it's going to take some time. Could play out. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Not sure, but we'll see. Here's the pesky TAL, and it's breaking down. TAL. That was a swing trade that we are in bearish, actually. TUFN, bullish, and it's trying its best to do something. We have a lot of work stocks. We have Upwork, UPWK, which we're probably going to be canceling soon. UPWK earnings May 6th. Yeah, we'll be canceling that one very soon. In fact, I'll put it on the list for the afternoon and talk about it. Michael says, Roku is going higher. You are 100% correct, and you would not have gotten triggered into that bearish position. Is that correct, Michael? Right? Stop limit. So with the stop limit, that means you only get in if it breaks lower, and so you can see, and you're 100% correct, Roku is breaking higher. So we recognize the opportunity to potentially short it, never got the shot or the chance, and that's okay. From here, it's just kind of continuing higher. Brandon says, are you still holding out for Zillow? No, Zillow most likely will not trigger, and we'll just end up canceling that one. I'll send out an email today. That is what he is talking about. Okay. Scott says, just broke the tweezers. I'm not looking. I'm not going to look. It's been irking me all day. All right. What am I trying to do? What was I about to do? Okay. Give me 3 seconds. Let's send out an email to cancel the Zillow weekly options newsletter. Similar to TLT last week, just simply didn't trigger, and that's okay. Didn't break down, so we'll cancel it and find something else next week. And so that is fine. So yeah, Zillow is going to be a cancel, Mr. Brandon Blevons. We will cancel that one. On Zillow, merci. Whoo, that's pretty. Okay. That is pretty. If we can get a close up here on a 5-minute chart, I might even move my stop. Matthew was asking about Apple. There's your morning star on Apple. So good job, Matthew. That's a perfect morning star too. Wow. Phenomenal. Perfect. If you guys are wondering what's a perfect morning star look like, there it is. Screenshot that one. That is a 10 out of 10. Would trade again. That's like free milkshakes for life and not gaining any weight. That's like eating all the hamburgers and fries you want and your cholesterol goes down. It's like drinking all the beer you can handle with no side effects. Physical side effects. Sam says, on a morning star, are your entries always above the following candle? That is correct. Hoff says, can you play the bull back on Apple where your bullish stop limit is? I have no idea what that means, my friend. Oh, the pullback. Gotcha. Sorry. Yeah, you could put a limit buy in there on Apple. That's not one of my 5 for this particular month, so I'm not going to personally trade it, and that's okay, but that's a phenomenal setup. By the way, AMD is also not that bad of a setup. Come on, AMD, let's go. 55.48. Let's go. All right, Roku's hanging out. Tesla, nice bounce on Tesla off the 30-minute 105. Guys, it's like this moving average is magical. It's the weirdest thing. It's so strange. Wilkins says NVIDIA is moving like a soldier. NVIDIA is rock solid strong. What a chart. Robert says, Jay, tempted to take the 1 hour on AMD? No, no temptation here. Gonna keep waiting. I am gonna take a quarter. I'm gonna exit some of my shares if you guys want. My current plan is to get out of a quarter at 55.48. Then I'll move the stop to 54.36 and then try for 56 even. Mason says, I try to get into Tesla, but no buying power. I've been there. I've been there, man, a time or two. All right, WWE. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. World Wrestling Entertainment's doing good. That's a nice breakout with a new high-end volume. JC says, when you exit a quarter, do you do a limit? Yes, sir. That is correct. Oh, man. So what else? What else? Tanya says, I'm not in AMD, but I'm cheering it on. That's okay. Let's cheer it on together. Lauren says, I'm mad. My WWE order I accidentally set to close all shares at 67, 47, 46. Oh, well, I mean, you won on the trade. That was a nice win. So, guys, apparently this is Lauren's shares. He just sold 200,000 shares up there. It's honestly probably a good thing, man. It's probably a good thing. But great trade. Great trade. You definitely won, and that is wonderful. Intel's hanging out. Beyond Meat's doing its thing. Qs are bouncing. SPY's bouncing. PayPal. Whew, PayPal is a soldier. Soldier of the night. Doing what's right. Fighting the clean fight. Buy the dip. That's what's right. Man, that's a nice trend. Edward says, Tesla's going to do another retest, probably. I would agree. Yep. After 5 white candles in a row, you definitely want to look to buy a pullback. That is correct. So the plan, I'm going to give 7 minutes on AMD to hit this target. If it does not do that, I will increase the stop. I will do a Mr. Squiggles, and I will try to hold into 56. William says, I think the moderator challenge should require the entire session in the voice of their favorite character. Oh, man. That's awesome. Reed says, I broke all the rules and risked too much on Beyond Meat. Are you a vegan or vegetarian, Reed? He says no. So you know what that means, right? You're about to be. So do this for me. By the way, congratulations on 70 R's. That's amazing. But go to the food, get 2 weeks worth of Beyond Meat food, and that's all you can eat. Beyond Meat sausages, Beyond Meat burgers for 2 weeks, and really soak it in. Be happy that you made the money, but still punish yourself for risking a little bit too much. And then here's what I also want you to do. What I also want you to do is find out why it worked so well so that you can do it again and have a good risk and know why you're getting into it. Because there is time to load some boats. I'm not going to disagree with that. It's all about planning it in advance. So if you're like, yep, I risked 10 R's to make 70, it's a little 1-to-7 risk reward ratio. So if you knew that in advance, or if you knew that going forward, that's fine. And that's what it's all about, having that risk and knowing the plan in advance. So the gut feeling, yeah, that's the thing that you want to ex-nay. You want to cut that out. Gut feelings work when you've been trading for like 9 years. You want to have like a very systematic, like this is exactly why, this is precisely why, this is the details, this is the information, this is why I got in large. And because it will happen again, you just want to know the next time it occurs, you want to be able to plan it in advance. That's all. Anyway, man, congrats. Well done. I'm glad it won. Greg says, thoughts on Intel? Intel is about to do that. It's going to chop around all day. Dip buyable, and it probably will drag AMD down with it when it does dip. But if it does dip, when I dip, you dip, we dip, the 56.61 would be the area to buy it if it dips down that far. That's my thoughts. G code. That's what I got. Greg says, I did the hold muscle yesterday and I got punched in the face. You gotten punched in the face before, Marine. You're all good. It ain't the first, it won't be the last. You got this. Team F for the win. Man, look at this double bottom. Like this is going to have to go in my intermediate class if this thing actually plays out. So we can already tell that we're not going to hit our target in the time frame allotted. So let's go for 56. Updated target, and I'm going to have to move the stop some. Hey, so we've done our job as traders. We have now reduced our risk. That's all we can do as a trader. That's it. That and Randy Macho Man Savage impressions. Those are the two things as a trader you can do. We are increasing stop loss and increasing target on AMD day trade. So for those of you in call options, beautiful. For those of you in shares, great. However you're playing this one, that's what I personally got, and 56 would be a pretty sizable win. I doubt we're going to get there, but we could, and that would be 2 and some change. Oh, yeah. Let's see if it happens. It's a pretty nice double bottom. So Roku's doing his thing. Tesla's retesting. SPY's retesting. Square's retesting. Baba's doing whatever it's doing. Q's is hanging out. Beyond Meat's going bananas. Intel, and then WWE. Okay. Who's messaging me on this? Congrats on your success. Thank you. That's very nice of whoever that person is. Very nice to say randomly. Okay. All right. Michael says, my thought on AMD is to increase the stop loss to 54.17. So my risk is 0. Is that too tight? I mean, 54.74. It's not too tight. I mean, theoretically, this is as low as it should go with that retest, that little neckline. I mean, that really We shouldn't go much lower than that. I just like being extra. I like holding stuff as long as I possibly can. But if you want, and if that's part of your plan and that's your goal, you could honestly do the low of this bullish candle right here, which is 54.77. So if you're going to put your stop above your entry, you might as well make enough to buy a hamburger. So I would put it at 54.76. That way you get 3 pennies. And if you had 1,000 shares or however many shares you had, I don't know, but at least you have enough to buy a hamburger. That's what I would do, my man. Okay. Thomas is an in and out. Yeah. Scrumdiddlyumptious. All right. Glue Mobile. Nothing going on there. Anything else you guys want to look at specifically? Anything else you have questions on? Google. So Google gapped down and it's gotten bought up. Relatively okay. Kind of sort of. Shopify doing its Shopify thing. Wix doing its Shopify thing. Spirit Airlines going lower. All the airlines. SPR getting murdered. Carnival getting murdered. Delta getting absolutely shredded. American Airlines shredding McShredderton. XLE gapped up, fading down. UCO dropping. CHK up because of the reverse split. So you're getting some opportunities to maybe day trade that one. Time is at 9:32. All right, I'm going to 2-minute bio break. Been slamming some water. I will be right back. Beautiful. Back from the bathroom. Sam says right on. Thank you, Brad, for your feedback. By the way, guys, type in a 1 if you just love everything that Brad does. I'm a Brad Reed fan. Love that dude. The amount of work that he puts in, the amount of time, the things that he does, his contributions, his charitableness. Thank you, Brad, for everything that you do. I appreciate being with you, man. And very excited about our future together. By the way, Brad, can you do a Randy Macho Man Savage impression? Because I think you heard mine, and mine was flawless and spot on.
Hey, man, I have never practiced the Macho Man. Let me tell you something. Real-life trading will crush the market.
Not bad, honestly. I think that was the best. That was the best.
Honestly, never practiced it once in however long I can remember.
You just
crushed. It was about 15 minutes, but
yeah, that was.
Thanks, man. You know what, dude? The way I crush things is trying to be like you, and that's just a great example. This has been recorded. Sweet, you got to cut that excerpt, man. That's awesome. That's gold right there.
Pure gold. By the way, I'm updating the calendar, guys. So Brad Reed's going to be here. I'm really buttering him up because he's going to be here in the morning room all week on May 4th, that whole week, because I'll be on vacation, allegedly.
May the 4th be with us.
That's right. Always. That's right. And then, so Brad, Matt DeLong has agreed to be in the afternoon room. So that week, so you're good. So it'll be morning room for Matt, for Brad, and then Matt will be in the afternoon room. It's gonna be pretty sick. Okay, cool deal. Mason says, a little mad about AMD, but I want to lock in the gains at 1.8 Rs. Hey man, it's never bad to lock in gains. Never a bad thing. Oh yeah, come on, baby. Sergi McSurgerton, let's go. Let's go. That's a great breakout. Reed says Tesla's going up big. Roku. Ooh, Tesla with a breakout. That was a nice retest. Look at SPY. Oh, that's a double bottom on SPY. Qs. Hold on, let me look at AMD. Can we get more? Can we get more? What would this be on the daily chart? Give me a second. Reed says, why is Tesla so volatile? It's just all charged up, man. It's got a lot of energy. I think this is going to be 56 is going to be a good level. You never sell at the exact high. That was my brain going, Newsom, you could make more money, bro. Come on now, get up in there. Get you some more money. That's what my brain was like, hey, dude, this is it. This is your chance, especially for Friday. Options are doing good. Shares are doing, all of us doing good. Roku did not go down. Yeah, Tesla, guys, is strong. SPY, I mean, that's a beautiful double bottom. Square is not going down. No idea what Bob is doing. Intel with the pop. There we go. That's a good close on Intel. So obviously didn't break lower. Again, type in a 3, ladies and gentlemen, if it at least helped to not be going bearish on Intel today. Obviously, you know, I didn't play it. I'm not in it. I don't have any position on it. But I said yesterday at the close of market to not be bearish on Intel in that gap down. It's a very strong gap. It helps. It's a great, great little move. So what we can do on AMD now is with that break, I can definitely move the stop again. Let me go ahead and draw Mr. Squiggles. Okay. What time is it? 9:40. If we don't hit the target in the next 20 minutes, I'll increase it. Move the stop loss again on AMD to 54.49. Moving stop loss again on our official AMD day trade. Ryan says exited a quarter at 54.14, the rest at 55.39 for 1.6R. Pretty happy with that outcomes. It's getting late down under. You got it, man. Sleep well. So that's Ryan. He's in Aussie land. So good. Greg played. Oh, okay, nice. Nicely done, G-Man. Russ is looking at playing Billy. B-I-L-I. What time frame is that? I can't tell what time frame that is. I'll review on Monday in the afternoon room. Okay, B-I-L-I, put down the list for Monday. Okay. TNK. Same with this one. Down the list for Monday. Chris says I'm in with 54 May 15 calls. Noted. All right. Cool deal. Sid's is out for 3 hours on Netflix. Beautiful. There you go. Dave says, all right, gonna pack it up. Take care, my friend. Be good. Thank you for being here. Thank you for enriching lives with us. Thank you for being a part of the team. Great stuff. Thomas is potentially going to stack the gain on AMD here. Understandably so. I get it. Totally get it. So Roku. So again, for Tesla, I mean, for me, I'm most likely not going to take anything else. I mean, I might. We'll see. We will see. But I definitely would like to lock in some nice sizable wins today because I need it. Thomas is up for the month, and I want some more buffer. Totally get it. So for those in World Wrestling Entertainment, and I am not, I would have missed that by 3 pennies. Stop loss will be right here at 45.05. William says, where do you think the top ropes are on WWE? The top ropes, let's do a quick fib. Michael says he got 1.8 Rs on AMD. There you go, Michael. Nicely done, man. Beautiful trade. Top ropes, 47.39 on WWE. 47.39. That would be a target. If I was in that trade, I'm not personally in that trade, and that's okay. I can't be in everything. It's a great gap, though. It's got I mean, it's a phenomenal gap and go. It's one of the best gaps I've ever seen in my entire life. Wayfair. Whoo! Look at that gap on Wayfair. Good job, Angela. Angela said she got in on the retest. Beautifully done, Angela. I'm not in on this one either, but that is a phenomenal, phenomenal gap. We talked about that one this morning. Just so crisp, so clean, so easy. Not on earnings. It's Wayfair. Everyone's using it, shopping there, buying stuff there. Fantastic. Alan says, what do you think of Square breaking out? I do see what you're looking at. How would I play the breakout on Square? That's how I'd play the breakout on Square. So let it break out and then buy a pullback. So let it actually make that higher move. Let it prove to you that it wants to actually do it. And then you could play a setup like this. I might play something again, but honestly, team, there's a 93% chance if I can hit a target on AMD, that's going to be like almost 2.5 Rs, 2.5 grand. I'm going to book it in for the day and go get some miles in. We will see. Michael says, my hold strength a month ago was 1 R, and now I'm comfortably getting up to 1.5, which is huge, man. I mean, that's a massive accomplishment. It's massive. Like, that is a huge, huge thing. So be extremely, extremely proud of yourself. Merrick says, Jeremy, can you talk me through the Apple Morningstar reversal again? I just don't see it. Sure thing. I'll give you the chart and then print this chart out and study it. Bearish candle. So you would not have known that so right here, Merrick, you have no idea that it's a morning star. Do you agree? No clue. In fact, it looks bearish. Merrick, you still there? Says yes. All right, cool. So right now you have no idea that it's a morning star reversal, no clue that it's a reversal pattern, no idea to be bullish. In fact, it looks a little bit bearish. When this candle comes in, this is a high wave candle. We talked about high wave candles earlier this morning. What does this represent, Merrick? What type of sentiment? Indecision, exactly. Tons of indecision. So people have no clue what to do. No idea. They're like, I don't know, go up, go down, who knows? This is the potential where you go, all right, something interesting could happen. Let's see if it does. I'm not sure. So then this candle comes in. And that is your Morningstar reversal pattern. The high of this candle is almost the exact same as the high of the bearish candle. So you have a bearish candle followed by an indecision candle followed by a bullish candle. That is a Morningstar. Pablo says, where do you get in? Do you see that green line that says bullish stop limit? You're going to be getting in above the high of the bullish candle. So the reason that this is a perfect Morningstar reversal pattern is because you have the third candle is extremely bullish, and you want to get in above the high of the bullish candle and preferably get in above the high of the bearish candle if they are similar. And that's why this is a perfect Morningstar, because both of those candles have extremely similar highs. So you always want to get in above the high of the third candle. That is correct. Now, what makes this one even better, is this candle. So up until that candle, this was like a 9 out of 10. Like, it was a strong Morningstar. It was a really good pattern. But when this candle comes in, it's now a 10 out of 10. You have to take this trade if you're allowed to, or if it's, whatever. I didn't take it. I could have. I promise I would have absolutely 100% been in that trade. Why, Merrick? Why is that now a 10 out of 10? Pablo, why is that perfect? Why is that so good? Pablo says because it's a hammer. That is correct. What else? Merrick says it has buying pressure. That's correct. What else? 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 Inside candle. It's inside candle, so it's a resting candle. So you have 3 whole minutes that went by where nothing really transpired. Pressure now begins to build. So that whole 3-minute period, we didn't do anything. We stayed inside the previous candle's range. And this candle has a little bit of an upper shadow, just a small upper shadow, and it has a very nice bearish candle, and it closed above the bearish candle's high. So you have all of those things. It's beautiful. That's a 10 out of 10. You got to take that trade every day of your life. And then boom, you're in. And then, at a new high, you can lock in some profit. You're up an R. And then this is present day. So this is where we're at right now. Type in a 3 if that was helpful, if you liked that, walking through that. Because if you did, I'm going to be doing it for 6 hours tomorrow. 6 hours. All right. So if you want to do the back trading course with me, I'll be doing exactly what I just did just then for 6 entire hours. So if you want to be there, I am donating it to charity. Half of it's going right to a charity here in Nashville, Tennessee. And it's going to include $100 off if you want to come to the Nashville retreat. So just something to think about. It's not a money-making venture for me. I just want to help people, and I think it's one of the funnest things I can do. I love doing it, and that's pretty much it. Diana says, can you please explain the logic of raising your target after too much time has passed? When you want to take some profits off to secure some gains just in case. If the trade is working and it shows that it is working so far, you have a double bottom on AMD and you have a flag pattern on AMD. So as far as the logic behind it, if the trade is continuing to work and there's no massive, insane reversal signals, the market is open until 4 p.m. Eastern. So could it continue higher? And the answer is yeah. So if the trade doesn't look like it's not stopped working or it's doing something weird or something you don't like, I'm going to increase my stop loss again in 8 minutes so that I will continue to lose and reduce my risk. You can absolutely take some partial positions here, Diana, if you would like to. And when you take that partial position off, you can increase your target. But for me, my simple thought process is if the trade's working, let it continue working. Because now we have what's referred to as a stair-step pattern, which is actually one of my favorite continuation patterns. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got. Diana said, so in a way it's accumulating, doing the squiggle, and that's a good thing. Exactly, as long as it doesn't do anything weird. What would weird be? Weird would be like one of those things. You're like, oh, shoot. Now, here's the question, Diana. Could that happen? And the answer is obviously. It's not a could, it's like it will. It just depends on when. It'll definitely happen at some point in your career. And for a lot of people, it was yesterday. So it can definitely occur. But I'm okay to hold because if a trade's winning, I mean, this one looks nice. It's trying to do something great. So I guess we'll find out. But then again, it's going to come down to your risk profile, your plan, your P&L, all of those things that you need to consider. I got a hole to dig out of, and I'm trying to dig out that hole. And the only way you can dig out of a hole is by winning. So if you're up on the day of the month and you want to lock in some gains like my boy Thomas Wong did, and Michael and a few other traders, that's perfectly fine. I have no qualms with that at all. And I'm not going to increase it a lot. Like I'm not going to make it like 59 or anything. I'll make it 56.20 probably. I'll increase my stop loss to like 54.93. And then I'm going to go run 10 miles or something. And I won't care what it does because I'm either going to win small or win big. And that's always a good position to be in. Okay. Yates. All right. So right now it's following Mr. Schools perfectly. Yates says tweezer top on the SPY came in right before a partial target. So I moved mine up. Good call or too ambitious with the targets. So if I come back to SPY, I think it's fine, man. I mean, obviously the same thing with AMD, right? If it breaks above those tweezers later today, it's definitely a tweezer top. So if we take out those highs on AMD and or SPY, so the tweezer top on AMD is right here, 55.85. So they're both in the exact same spot. And again, right now it's following Mr. Squiggles like it's his job. So the cool part is if we can take out those levels, it's going to look really, really good. So ambitious? Yeah, we'll see, man. We will see. Ryan says, how many miles did you run this morning? I haven't ran any yet. I am walking some. I've got 2.7 miles in presently on the treadmill. So once this is over, or whatever happens, I'll be trailing stops and things like that. Got 24 to get to none today. Matthew says, Netflix, from a longer time frame perspective, we're in a wave 4. Yes, I would agree. Oh, you mean a big perspective like this? Yep, totally agree. Some type of massive consolidation, wave 4. Yeah, my man. Julian says he trailed out of WWE. Good job on the trail out, man. Hope you won some. And again, Lauren, good job taking all the gains at 46, even though you didn't specifically want to. Still a good gap. And again, I didn't mean to remove the target. It still theoretically could go higher. It's a phenomenal gap. I'm going to keep it on the list just to see what it does. Merrick says, if it's my second day, what's with the 22 miles a day? So I'm doing something called the Calendar Club with a few mentors of mine. And that's where you run the mile of the day. all month. That's really it. So I'm doing 25 tomorrow, and then I'm gonna do a marathon on Sunday, and then I have 5 marathons back to back to back to back to back. The hard part is not necessarily the miles. The hard part is just doing it every day. Robert says you got to do 22 miles a day to trade like Jeremy. I wish that was true. There's so many traders who are much, much better than I am. They were so much better than I am. All right, OZK. Banks of the Ozarks. Talk about Hillbilly Newsom. Woo! Come on, Ozarks. Big pullback on Bank of the Ozarks. Wow, massive, massive movement. Kind of needed it to happen. It's good that it is. And man, to 19 and some change. That is amazing. Strong, strong candle. Really looks good. Yeah, man. I'll put that on the list for Finance Friday, and we'll keep an eye on it to see if we get some type of good close. I mean, as far as buying Bank of the Ozarks, regional bank, smaller bank, I don't personally bank with them. But if I'm just kind of looking over it and trying to figure out what the heck's happening with it, it looks really pretty to me. It does look like it has some potential to start trading higher. Some potential. Google still hanging out. Amazon hanging out. Ryan says, unfortunately, you got one of those weird things on AMD. Not yet. So far, Mr. Squiggles drew this exact thing happening. I drew that 15 minutes ago. So this is still within normal range. We could trade all the way back down here to retest. We could retest that double bottom twice. So I mean, again, we definitely made a new high on the day right here. It's not like I didn't try to get out up there. I did try to get out at 56, just didn't happen. 55.85 was a high. A lot of you guys took your profits there, and again, smart. That's a very smart thing to do. Are you going to beat me on the trade? Probably. I don't know. But we'll kind of see. It's just I'm trying my best to hold for a nice winner. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I do not know. The VWAP is at 55.05. So again, theoretically, we could retrace all the way to that. It's going to be all about your plan, folks, and where you're at for the month, for the day, your P&L. All of those things are really, really crucial. So for me, I'm going to put my stop below this candle, 54.77. I'm going to make it 54.76. So now I'm going to win enough for a hamburger, or I'll win enough for a mortgage payment. So hamburger or mortgage. That's what's going to happen. Now I'll move the target up to 56.20. Chick-fil-A, dude, absolutely. So we'll get something like this. Hoping that's worst case scenario. And again, maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. I don't know. But I'm not going to lose on the trade. And again, it's all about where you are all at for the month. I don't mind winning small in the rare instance that I can have a huge win. Increasing stop loss on AMD day trade along with the target. So again, you're all absolutely correct. It doesn't look amazing, but I just liked that double bottom. I was hoping that double bottom would prove to be something really cool. Roku's hanging out. Tesla. All right. So Tesla's having its pullback. This is good. So Tesla is getting a pullback. SPY getting a big gnarly pullback all the way back down to that support. Square, same thing. So we haven't broken out on Square yet. BABA, Beyond Meat broke down. So we know Beyond Meat was over. It hit the target. Intel and then WWE. Julian's going to short the IWM. 120.82. Oh, you're already short. Nice. It's a beautiful hammer to short below that break. I like it. Well done. Great stop placement too. No chance you're going to lose a full R on that. You can go ahead and put your stop. You can move that stop loss now to 121.31. So good job not losing a full R on that one, man. That is beautiful. Matthew says, should you short Disney? Let's go look at the 30-minute chart and see how the moving averages are doing. So you're below both of those. You're below both of those. You are allowed, per that particular plan, to short Disney. If I were going to short Disney personally, I would have to do so on a pullback. So it would be a bearish limit sell with a stop loss right here. So if you're looking at shorting Disney, Matthew, this is how I would. Matthew, Disney, okay. Brad Robinson says, thanks for a great morning. Booked 50% return on AMD calls. Looking forward to back trade marathon tomorrow. Hey, Brad, awesome, man. I appreciate you being here and congratulations. That's, man, 50% return is such a gorgeous win, especially on options. I mean, Friday options, whew, you get some good opportunities out there on Fridays. Okay. Let's see. I think we're good. Yep, I'm all caught up. Okay. Amazon. So I looked at Amazon earlier. And so that retracement, Mr. Squiggles, is not a terrible idea. Again, just one of those things, like if you're going to short a powerful move like that, you don't want to do so after that many bearish candles in a row. That would have absolutely offered you a good risk reward. Because if you shorted up there, your stop was probably up there somewhere. And now your stop loss could be right here. And you could definitely, in my opinion, lose less than an R. Mathematically, you should be able to if you shorted Amazon up there. Boeing. So Boeing, again, I mentioned earlier not to be bullish on Boeing, and that's why. Boeing is leaking. Trend is bearish. Now, Aaron doesn't mind owning some shares on Boeing. Here's Fiverr. Fiverr looks really good. Chewy, CHWY, it's kind of hanging out. And I think that's 2 hours long enough for the recording. So if those of you watching the recording, feel free to come back to AMD and see how it played out. I'm either going to win very small, or maybe I'll win big. I don't know. But if you're watching the recording, thanks for being here.